Hey everybody, how you doing? It's what day of the week is it now? It's Wednesday. Okay, Wednesday. It's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope that this crazy time is not stressing you out too much. You got to make sure you're supporting your adrenal glands if you're stressed out, and you do not support your adrenal glands by drinking a bunch of coffee or a bunch of you know um, Red Bulls and monster drinks and stuff like that. And we need you getting a lot of good B vitamins and stuff like that if you find yourself really stressed. So, what I wanted to talk about tonight is can we really get rid of this virus, right? So, that's the title of this. I want to make sure we understand and all of you understand kind of what's happening with any viral infection, any virus that's out there. First of all, scientific evidence says that in any adult human being, there is in your body right now around 350 to 380 trillion viruses in your body right now. Now, chances are pretty good that you're not all sick, right? So, why are you not sick with these viruses? Whether it's been a flu virus you had in the past, whether it's an Epstein Barr virus, I think 95% of the population of the United States, at least according to some research, has been exposed to the Epstein Barr virus. So, there's also things like cytomegaloviruses. We have different strains of the coronavirus. This is not the first coronavirus that we've ever had. It is just happens to be a different strain of coronavirus, just like the flu viruses are different strains. So, what does it mean to get rid of the virus? What is everybody stressed out about right now? First of all, the thing that we're stressed out about is not whether or not you are going to get sick from this virus. That's not the stress. The stress is that too many people will get sick enough all at the same time. This virus, and this is not meant to stress you out. I really want to actually hopefully kind of de-stress you a little bit, help you understand some of the physiology and the immunology that happens in the body. So we are going to be exposed to this virus really for the rest of humanity, if you will, because viruses are genetic material that while we can mitigate them or slow them down, we can't really get rid of them for good. So what the situation is that we're going to have this virus for forever. The idea is that we don't want everybody getting sick and overwhelming the hospital system all at one time. It's very similar to what the concerns are with a flu virus. If somebody is not taking care of their immune system, they're immune compromised, they're elderly, they have a situation where they can't fight things off very easily, any virus that comes along that has the ability to create an illness that can cause death or significant disease is going to cause them significant trouble. So they can go to the hospital and they get care for that. Right now, with this coronavirus, the stress is too many people are getting it at one time. All right, like you see in Italy and in New York State right now, primarily New York City, and it's going to overwhelm the hospital systems and the care systems that can take care of the people that are getting uh, significantly ill with this. Okay, so for you and I, let's say I'm 48 years old. For people that are in my age bracket, my children, little kids, people even all the way up to say 65 or 70 years old, as long as they're healthy, they really don't have much risk here. They truly don't have much risk. It is those that have compromised immune systems, the elderly, that their health just isn't in good shape. These are the ones that we're at risk of. But we have a significant portion of our population that exist in those demographics, and they could easily overwhelm the system. So, what does that mean? It means that if we can just slow down this outbreak, right? If we can slow down this outbreak and keep everybody from going to the hospital right now, then the people that get sick, let's say in May and June and July, in the warmer months, the hospital systems will be able to take care of the few that are getting sick from this virus in the future. Right, next winter comes along, you're not going to hear about the coronavirus the same way you're not. But I will tell you, there are people that will be sick with COVID-19 next year and the year after that and the year after that. And there'll be some outbreaks that are bigger than others, some places around the world that have it more than others. But because more and more of the population will be developing an immunity to that as they get sick, and if it's handled at a level a slower level, meaning like people are getting sick at a slower rate. The hospitals can handle them. The outpatient facilities can handle symptoms, treat people for anything that's distressful or threatening to their life. We'll be able to handle those things. But COVID's going to go away, not going to go away, just like um, the flu has never gone away. All right, it's new strains that come out. COVID-19 will mutate. If you watched my video last night, we talked about how zinc can help slow down and stop the viral replication in the body. But I just want to make sure you understand that for what we're talking about, what the media is talking about right now, there is some validity to everybody just kind of staying put, and not spreading it to a huge degree. Not because we think you're going to get sick. It's simply because we don't want to overwhelm the hospital systems right now, because too many people getting sick at one time means a lot more death than is needed. But this is, and I want you to know this just because it should help you not be stressed about this. When we get over this hump that we're going through right now, when we get over this is not going to be a big deal. This is going to be like um, any cold or flu virus that comes along. And corona, just so you know what that term comes from, is the shape of the virus is and there's been many strains of coronaviruses. The average cold virus is a coronavirus. It's just not this particular strain. Our bodies are going to develop immunity to it, and we will become more and more resistant as a society to these problems, and we won't have to worry about them overwhelming our healthcare system. Now, it's been since about 1918, I think it was, the Spanish flu epidemic. It's a flu virus, and there were many millions of people around the world. It was the one of the largest uh, uh, incidents of death on the planet in recorded history on the planet is the Spanish flu virus. Um, and so there's a possibility of things happening like that down the road. It's not meant to scare you. It's the good news is we have way more facilities than we did back then. I am not concerned about getting sick even a little. I'm not concerned with getting COVID-19 if I got it. The truth of the matter is I wouldn't even get tested. And most of you, according to what is being reported in the media and by the CDC and the government, if you felt like you were getting sick, what they're asking you to do is go home, continue for 2 weeks, get over the virus, and and if people live with you, they've got to stay home too. Now, what they are suggesting is if you have acute, what you feel is life-threatening respiratory symptoms that they're going to impact your life, then go to the hospital. But that's not going to be the average American. All right, the average American actually is going to be exposed to this, and they're never going to have any symptoms. That's the average person that will be exposed will never have a symptom from this. On top of that, sorry, my phone's pinging away over here. I don't know if it's I don't know what's happening with it. So there will be people that get exposed to this, and they will get ill, and they will be totally fine. They'll get over it. That is going to be the vast majority of people are just going to get over it totally fine. People are rushing off to get tested because of every cough, sniffle, sneeze that they have. And what they're being told is go home. They're being told go home. All right. They're not filling up the hospitals. They're saying go home. And if you have acute problems, come in. So what that would mean to me would be like if you get a cough or sniff or a sneeze, the point of you going to get tested is none. There's no point in you going to get tested. The point would be that if you get acute respiratory symptoms, like the life-threatening respiratory symptoms where you can't breathe, then you go to the hospital and they should test you at that point, and they will. So they'll take care of you. But if you don't get to that point, there's no reason for you to go to the hospital and overwhelm the system. But it should be you should understand some physiology and some immunology and how your body works, and that is that we're not going to get rid forever of this COVID-19 thing. We are going to develop as a society more and more immunity, but people will get it next year. People will get it in the summertime, depending on where they live. More and more climates, less likely than colder climates. We just won't hear about it because it won't be overwhelming our system. Some of you have been reading things about how many people died of the flu this year. Way more than are dying of COVID-19. Way, way, way more than are going to die from COVID-19. But the thing is, that's spread out over time. You know, those people that died from that, unfortunately, those immune compromised people, the elderly, that their immune systems were compromised. Those are the people when they got the flu, it affected them negatively as people with real significant health challenges. Um, so, but it didn't overwhelm our hospital system. It didn't overwhelm our urgent care system. It didn't overwhelm our ability to care for those people because it was spread out. All right. This is just simply not spread out. So, anyway, hope that you found this helpful. If you want to share this with friends and family, I'd appreciate it. I see we've had up to 30 people or so watching this as I've been on here. Maybe this helps somebody de-stress about it and helps them learn a little bit about their own immune system and and they stop freaking out about this thing. And also, if you've had the idea that we're going to get rid of this thing, that's kind of false. I mean, it's not kind of false. It's like blatantly false. We're not getting rid of COVID-19. All right, we're not going to get rid of viruses. There are, as I said in the beginning, if you weren't on in the beginning, right now in your body, as you're watching this, all the people that are on here, all you, I'm talking to you. Science says if you're an adult American or adult living on this planet, you have some 350, 380 trillion viruses living in your body. 380 trillion. That's a tremendous amount. But you're not sick, right? So that means your immune system's working. You're keeping those viruses at bay. They are actually, in some ways, they're a part of how our bodies function in this world. There are reportedly somewhere around 100 100 billion bacteria that live in your intestines. 100 billion bacteria that live in your intestines. And if they were not there, there would be hormones in your body that you need that wouldn't be produced very well. Those feel-good chemicals that our brain uses to help us feel good, like serotonin and dopamine, 95% of serotonin, that feel-good chemical, the thing that makes us feel happy, and the thing that multiple drug companies have tried to come up with medications to try to regulate with these selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors and Prozacs and Zolofts and whatever, you name it. 95% of those feel-good chemicals are made in your gut with the help of bacteria that live there. Pretty wild, right? So there's the microbiome, the viruses and the bacteria that live in and on our bodies that actually help us in our own health, our own body's function. They're very important to us. So this really isn't something we should be afraid of. If you are very severely immunocompromised or you are a really truly sick individual, you probably have some concerns. And you should have concerns about getting exposed to this, but you really shouldn't have some concerns until your symptoms get acute. All right. And I'm not trying to tell you, as a medical provider, as a healthcare provider, I don't want to tell you to stay away from a hospital because I can't treat you or make recommendations to you over the internet. And so I'm not doing that here. So that's my little disclaimer. What I'm telling you is that you do what you feel is right for you. But the vast majority of people, according to CDC, and World Health Organization guidelines are saying, look, unless you get acute symptoms, stay home. Okay, even if you have symptoms and you think you have COVID-19, stay home. So Kim Mitchell, I heard to drink warm water or drinks instead of with ice. Is this helpful for the virus? Your body temperature does have an impact on viral replication. So the science on corona type viruses, all right, shows conclusively that the envelope that protects the RNA material that is the virus, all right, so there's a protein envelope, and then there's the viral DNA or RNA material in there. The envelope that contains that breaks down with heat, all right? So the heat is, and I said this the other day, I did a video actually on a hair dryer the other day, a use of a hair dryer to warm up your sinus passages, all right? And that was it was 58 degrees Celsius, I think, and 136 degrees Fahrenheit, or 133 degrees Fahrenheit, something like that, is when the science has proven that that viral envelope around the viral genetic material breaks down. So it's one of the reasons why your body develops a fever if the viral load in your body gets to be too high, because your body knows instinctively, God made your body I'm going to do a video tomorrow night on normal, what's called adaptive physiology. So I'm going to do a video tomorrow on adaptive physiology. And a fever is normal adaptive physiology. We often talk about, we often feel like a fever is this bad thing to have happen. The truth of the matter is a fever is a proper thing to have happen. It is what your body's trying to do to help you fight things off. And heat is one of the reasons why your body, heat is one of the things your body uses in order to help fight off viral infections. So heat is very good. I hope that answered your question. If I don't know how much drinking 1 cup of unsweet iced tea, or avoid sugar right now. And if you can avoid sugar and carbohydrates right now, that is one way to keep your immune system working better, is to avoid the simple carbohydrates and the sugars in your diet. I'll repeat this to sound like a broken record, but monolaurin is a known antiviral from coconut. Virgin coconut oil is helpful right now. We talked last night about zinc, vitamin C. New York, God, I can't remember where it was. New York, it was just published yesterday. Out of New York, they're using high doses of vitamin C. I would advise you not to use super high doses of vitamin C because it'll affect your bowels and you will get very friendly with your toilet. But vitamin C, vitamin D. So these would be kind of like my go-tos from a nutrition standpoint right now if you're trying to fight off viral stuff, is zinc, monolaurin, vitamin C, vitamin D. What am I forgetting? Anyway, those you can go back and rewind it. Those would be my go-tos. Elderberry syrup's great right now. These are things that help boost your immune system. Silver, colloidal silver is also something good for your immune system. We're just trying to help your body have the ability to fight something off. None of these things are going to do something without your own body's ability to help. They're simply a support for your body's immune system and your own body's ability to fight things off. All right, so I hope you found this helpful. If you did find this helpful, as always, the thing I ask the most is if you will just share. All right, hit that little share button. It's right there on your screen. It's the only favor I ask of you is to hit that share button, because you never know when something that this information can help somebody else. Really appreciate you watching, and I will see you tomorrow night. We're going to talk about normal adaptive physiology. I know that doesn't sound like super exciting. You're like, oh great, that sounds wonderful. Tune me in for that. It's like Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones. Going to be that exciting. But an interesting about physiology is a lot of what you're told is wrong when you go to the doctor is actually the things that are right. And you have to understand the difference between what is actually wrong and things you have to address, and things that are actually your body's way of trying to solve problems. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow night, so you have a better understanding of when the doctor's telling you something, how to evaluate the information so that you're smart and you're your best patient advocate. Anyway, I hope you found this helpful. I will see you next time. Love to you guys. And remember, also support your adrenal glands if you're stressed out right now, right? You need to support those adrenal glands. They help you deal with stress. And if you're stressed out, you're burning through those B vitamins, just burning through them. B1 especially. All right, B1. B1, not OB1, B1. You'll burn through B1 like crazy when you're stressed out. So if you're stressed out right now because you're homeschooling your kids or you don't know where your next paycheck's coming from, go get some vitamin B1. I would advise you not to take it before bed. It can contribute to you staying awake. And me personally, if I take B1 before bed, it gives me some crazy dreams. All right. So anyway, hope you found this helpful. See you next time.